Hello fam and welcome. This is Yashi-san and welcome once again to the Shuriken Media. I'm so excited to sharing my thoughts on one of the biggest games that 2020 has to offer, and we can expect to get it tomorrow. I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 2, the next game in the much loved The Last of Us franchise, and in this one we will be continuing Ellie's story but in a much darker space as she sets out to get vengeance against all who have wronged her. So I hope that this intro interests you to listen to what I have to say and what the game has to offer. And with that said, please stay on the stream and enjoy. Let's dive into this. Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of bottom line reviews for The Last of Us Part 2 and I'm feeling some type of way. This being caused by how divisive the reviews are so far. We are only a day away from public launch. From what I've watched so far, the reviews kind of share similar reservations about the game. That being the story, character complexity, meaningful character connections, and some of the new gameplay implementations that have been extremely hyped up leading to June 19th, and it seems like these reservations are not looking too good. The best way for me and everyone else to know if the game is good, great or not is for us to get our hands on it and play it for ourselves on the 19th this month and going forward. I so want this game to feel good and worth it in every way because I have to invest my heart, emotions and mind into this, and I've bought a pre-order copy of the game, and that is something that I do not do since a lot of games have turned out to be trash recently. Well, I would think that the game is still worth it from what I've seen from the gameplay and trailer content from Naughty Dog and Sony ever since its announcement, and from the recent content from the pre-release reviewers so far. But I must say that I would be extremely saddened or angered if I am to find out that what these reviewers have said so far about the game is true and or as impactful as they strongly say it is. When it comes to reservations from my own observation of the gameplay and the basic descriptions of the story, I think I see where the problems may lie, and please take into account that I have not spoiled the story for myself by consuming the spoiler content that sparked up such controversy in the past few weeks or months. So firstly, I also think I've always thought the most basic description of what the story is about would divide casual players and the fanatics of the game, since the sequel seems to strongly deviate so heavily from what made the first game so artsy-grabby. The Last of Us Part 2 seems to head into the total opposite of the moral foundation of the first game. And unfortunately, with such a drastic change, I feel like it will see a lot of disdain from the player base that is unadaptive to change when it comes to their most adored 10 out of 10 games, especially with such a change in moral direction that we will be seeing at launch. Nonetheless, I think that the change is a necessity since it would be unwise for us to practically pay for the same game twice, even though we loved the first game and want something new that does not deviate from what the first game did for us. Seeing and listening to all of these divisive comments all over YouTube and the internet has not deterred me from wanting to experience the game for myself, and I think that I have been made to be more anxious towards playing the game and experiencing it for myself and to its fullest. Another aspect of the division from what I am able to tell is that it seems to be based on individual preferences, in that these pre-release reviews always spew terms such as "in my opinion," "I feel like," and "some of you may like this," which goes to show that what one individual might not like may be an incredible experience for the next person. These terms are some that highlight the preferential nature that the reviews have come to adopt, and I'm glad that there is a variance in what reviewers are saying and that most of it is positive, about 80% at least. The gameplay mechanics seem to be the second most major divisive attribute of the game, but it seems that it is a constrained majority. Good, and adds a fresh spin to what made the first game great. Something that I do share with the comments made is that the gunning in the first game was kind of stiff and would occasionally venture into the unenjoyable realm at some points in the game. Some reviewers might feel like the addition of these new gameplay mechanics for Ellie are not entirely something to be hyped about. A certain pre-review from the YouTube channel Skill Up states that the jump mechanic introduced to Ellie and the puzzle mechanic to traverse the world are almost meaningless and would not make a difference if they were not in the game entirely. But that is to be determined at an individual level, as I feel that this is another critique point based on preference. As much as I have had some negative aspects, I have certainly had more positive ones, such as the positive comments on the drastic improvement to graphics, new gameplay mechanics such as dodge, jump, prone, and the new elements placed inside the gameplay world such as dogs to provide a wider enemy variance and greater gameplay challenges. Stealth, running and gunning, and concealment are seemingly incredible. It is unfortunate though that pre-reviews have identified gaps such as AI still being not fine-tuned as we were made to believe. Still, the positives currently outweigh the negatives. Overall, I have not been deterred from playing the game and I feel like I will have an amazing experience. I loved the first game and how it played. The sequel seems to not stray too far from the experience that the first game had to offer, and seemingly it may offer more in terms of gameplay, experience and world building and the telling of the world story. I already love the game and I hope that I can come out of the story of The Last of Us Part 2 feeling the same way. I am a fan of the franchise, but what I have heard so far still adds some weight to my current state of expectation. But even with that being said, I will be as objective throughout my gameplay experience, which I will be sharing with everyone on Twitch and YouTube from the 19th. I am a fan of the franchise, but what I have heard so far still adds some weight to my current state of expectation. But even with that said, I will be as objective throughout my gameplay experience, which I will be sharing with everyone on Twitch and YouTube from the 19th. Okay, so those were my thoughts on the pre-preview content that has been hot on the timelines of many lucky reviewers so far. Please hit me up on the comments about whether or not you agree with my outlook on things, and you can also tell me what you think. Please don't forget to provide any feedback on the video and my presentation. Please like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, as this helps me out a lot, and also hit the bell icon to get notified about new videos that get released on the channel. So until next time, stay safe, stay chill, keep it real. This is Yashi-san signing out for the Shuriken Medium. Peace out.